Hi, welcome to Pittsburgh Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing Week 9 in the NFL. We're talking right now to Stephen O. from EventDataServices.com. Stephen O., very well-respected NFL handicapper and modeler, and he's having a great year at his site, EventDataServices.com. Not such a great year in picks in our videos, though. Stephen O., thanks for being back with us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, we have a new service, and we have a lot of clients paying a pretty high price for the information. So I sort of made a commitment to always give only the best picks on our site to our clients. Unfortunately, so those picks have been great, and we actually post all of our archives. I write a full page of analysis on every pick for every game, and if anyone's interested, they could download all those and take a look for themselves. All
right. Yeah, I guess what you're saying is beggars can't be choosers, but I'm a beggar, and I want to be a chooser too, man.
That's well, I still feel that I've gotten screwed, for lack of a better term, in many cases. Last week, I think, was the one bad pick that just didn't go at all what we predicted. I think we picked them a couple pushes and a couple, dirty covers at the end, that kind of stuff. But I feel good about having a strong rest of the season.
All right. Well, you do pick some tough games. Like this week, another example, you picked Pitt, New England. I thought you were going to pick. You love picking Baltimore games. Why didn't you just pick Baltimore this week and tell us that Baltimore -2.5 is going to be a great pick? That's going to be a premium pick on your service, right?
No, it isn't. As you know, I'm a huge Ravens fan, and we're favored by 2.5. And I think we actually have Cleveland as our pick to cover barely. And I hate picking against Baltimore. And one reason why I like the Steelers in New England is I hate both teams.
Right.
Like with a passion, so I can really pick purely objectively without letting my own feelings get in the way.
All right, well, you see there, I'm a sneaky beggar. I just snuck in another free pick, a second free pick from Stephen O. He didn't pick up on it. All right, Pittsburgh at New England is the game that we're going to discuss right now. New England, of course, 6.5-point home favorite, totals 44, and I have to assume that New England's going to be a big public play. Anytime, they're off a win and a cover, and they're like at home, giving a touchdown, against a team that's not been that good, and off a loss, they're going to be a big public play. Pats beat Miami by 10 last week. Steelers lost at Oakland. If looking at this line, it just makes me nervous to go against New England in any capacity, even though this year they have so many problems. But as of right now, the game's a pass for me. What do you like here, Stephen?
Well, we like Pittsburgh, and last week's games couldn't have been, the actual results couldn't have been more different than what should have happened. I mean, New England had 115 passing yards, and if it wasn't for Tannehill's three turnovers, a couple missed field goals, or one was blocked, Miami, really should have won maybe 27-13, if anything. And Oakland, they missed, Sweden missed 2 gimme field goals. And Pittsburgh probably should have won that game as well. So, I look at these really low probability events that really skewed both outcomes. And if those outcomes had come out as the stats, typically would have done, I think that this line would be very different. With that said, we have New England favored by 5 points and not 6.5. And so it's not like we have the strongest weight in the world for Pittsburgh, but in essence, I think the Patriots, they're not a good offense, and we can't let what they did for most of the last decade cloud us too much. This is a team that really is clearly struggling offensively. Even with their weapons back, with Gronkowski and Amendola playing, they still barely move the ball for most of the game against Miami, who is not an elite defense. Pittsburgh, they don't have a lot of turnovers. They don't get a lot of sacks, but they still give very few yards, still considered a very good defense. And I just see a lot of 3 and outs. I see New England doing what they would normally do at home, which is they average around 23.5 this year at home. I think they're going to score around 23. And I think, our line and the Vegas line both projects, Pittsburgh for between 17 and 19. So I see a score like 23-17 as a likely outcome.
All right, yeah, that does jive with my feel of New England this year as well. Like the Brady magic might not be something you want to bet against on the money line, but when they're, a big favorite, it does feel like something you might want to go against. Although last week, they got to cover, same kind of line. But
yeah, I just can't really. The statistician in me just doesn't see.
Right.
Some of those turnovers by Tannehill were pretty bad, and I just don't see Roethlisberger making those same mistakes. And I don't see, I don't see New England benefiting, from that kind of short fields that they had. 116 passing yards, and Tom Brady's passer rating is below Chad Henne's this year. Below Mike Glennon's. It's legitimately bad. 55, under 56% completion percentage. I think something's really wrong there.
All right, great analysis, and I think you made a sharp pick there. Stephen O. from EventDataServices.com. Thanks so much. Talk to you again next week.
Thank you a lot.